Present.
John Lillywhite. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Prior to tonight's meeting, you received a copy of the minutes from the Monday, April 10th meeting. Are there any additions or corrections?
No. I know.
So I would entertain a motion regarding the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The motion carries. Under unfinished business, with the police chief come back after we looked at the intersection there of Morton Avenue, Randolph Street, and Mulberry.
Would you like for me to read this again, since
Since
we've
John
got all
was- since John's
all the
not
members
here.
here today?
They did receive a copy of it.
Okay. Traffic study for the intersection of Randolph Street, Mulberry Street, and Morton Avenue. The intersection of southbound Mulberry Street, eastbound Randolph Street, and Morton Avenue, which travels in a northeast or southwest direction, is a difficult intersection to navigate as it is currently set up. For those of you not familiar with the intersection, southbound traffic on Mulberry Street and eastbound traffic on Randolph both have to stop at this intersection, but there is no traffic control device for Morton Avenue traffic. The problem arises when two vehicles arrive at the intersection southbound Mulberry and eastbound Randolph, and then one or both of them attempt to turn onto Morton Avenue, all while there is the potential for traffic to also be turning from Morton Avenue onto one of the other aforementioned streets. A possible solution to this problem would be the implementation of Mulberry Street being made a one-way going north from the intersection, possibly up to Garfield Avenue. Another solution would be to change Randolph into a one-way going west from Marion Street. West to Marion Street, excuse me. The amount of vehicular traffic I observed at this intersection was minimal during the time I was there, but it is entirely possible that during other times of the day, it could be more substantial. When a check of our system was performed, no crashes at that intersection have been located for the past several years. And when I gave this initial presentation, we had a resident come forward and say that, to their knowledge, there have been no crashes there in, I believe, 30 years. It is a difficult intersection, but fortunately, we haven't had a lot of crashes to deal with there. So now it's up to you guys.
Any questions for the chief?
I witnessed an accident there. I know that it's been within the last 10 years. I can't tell you when it was, but my
Okay.
family was having a picnic at Doris
Okay.
Daily, and someone was crossing from the intersection
Okay,
over to the short street going to John
Right.
R. Wooden.
okay,
It was a T-bone accident from someone
Okay.
going southbound on Morton Avenue.
okay,
But I'm assuming that's one accident.
yeah,
One thing that we talked about at the last meeting too, John, was that apparently there's been a truck and trailer that's been parking legally on Mulberry Street. And if they, legally, but if the yellow line for parking was maybe a little bit longer, there'd be more visibility from Mulberry to see down Randolph and Morton Avenue, that could possibly make that intersection a little safer.
As many of the people in here know, I would like to personally say to get a lot of trailers and non-vehicles out of there, so I'm completely in favor of that. There are a lot of places where it impedes the flow of traffic where it impedes the flow of traffic or makes it unsafe for emergency vehicles. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea.
So let's look at a couple different options then. As far as making the urban roads one-way instead of two-way, what's your feelings on that?
My first reaction is that I would like to make the yellow curve a little bit longer. If we were gonna make one street one way, I would rather do Randolph, just because it's less Randolph for one block, because there are less houses on that street than there are on Mulberry.
And to change the traffic pattern, it's not a good thing.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna make people unhappy.
One thing to consider, if we did want to do that, there's a lot of traffic that try to avoid the intersection of Morton and 39, and they will cut through on Randolph. I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing, but if we did that, that would not allow them to go through there. They would have to go to Morton and 39, which would make that intersection even busier. Just something to think about.
I think that's a
So
good thing.
which
I don't
way-
want them going through that residential.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I think that's a good thing. I don't want them going through that residential neighborhood, trying to cut
Right.
traffic anyway.
I'm just speaking from a traffic standpoint, that it's gonna put a lot more traffic through Morton and 39, which more traffic generally leads to more crashes.
Because you think that people turn off of Morton to go to the bypass?
I think people turn off of 39 to cut through, so they don't have to go down on 39 to where it intersects with Morton there at the stoplight. So if we alleviate that, they will have to go to that intersection, which maybe that would be a good thing because there is a stoplight there, but it's gonna put a lot more traffic going through there. So I just
Or
wanted to
they could
make
get to
it,
Marion and hang a right and go out onto Morton Avenue in a safer area.
I'm sorry, what?
They could take a right on Marion at the one-way and go out on Morton Avenue at a safer intersection.
I'm saying the traffic that would be coming southbound on 39 approaching Morton. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that. I like to avoid traffic too, but those 39 and Morton are main thoroughfares. They have traffic lights. They're designed for traffic throughways. These, are residential streets.
Right.
And I'm fairly confident in saying that if people are trying to avoid traffic, they might be going a little bit faster than they ought to through those
That's definitely a
residential streets.
possibility.
That's a supposition, but, yeah, I would be more in favor of keeping them on the throughways. Do we have other options? So we could make Randolph a one-way, that is an option.
May I make a motion that we make the curb further back on the yellow for the parking, and then revisit this in 2 months? Yeah, 6 months, sure.
I would second that motion.
So, motion made and seconded to extend the yellow at this intersection, and then we'll come back and revisit this in 6 months. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Moving right along. Under new business, Mr. Coffey.
Have before you this evening a Tort claim notice for an accident that happened on I-69 last November. Just asking for the board tonight to refer this to an insurance carrier.
I would make that motion.
I'll second it.
Been a motion made and seconded to refer to the insurance carrier, the tort claim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Tonight we have 6 sewer adjustments, 2 are biggies. 260 West Garfield, $90.08. 3 Outer Drive, $7,340.39. 219 to 229 North Fifth Street, $70.93. 765 East Highland Street, $404.24. 1560 East Morgan Street, $353.57. 222 Magnolia Street, $5,006.19. We received copies of all of the requests and packets. Are there any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
No.
I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the water adjustments.
And I will second.
Been a motion made and seconded to accept the water adjustments as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. We're going to have a Board of Works workshop on Monday, May 8th, but Mr. Lillywhite's not going to be here, so would you mind if we do that on the 22nd?
Oh, May?
Yeah,
Yes, that's fine.
then interfere.
Yeah.
So we'll set our workshop up for the second meeting in which would be the 22nd. The purpose of this workshop is going to be look up the employment,
So 4:30.
so forth, yes. The employee manual and the SOP and the SOGs. Again, this would be a workshop for us to work, public's invited, no public comment will be taken during the meeting. So our next regular meeting of the Board of Works will be on Monday, May 8th at 6:30 here in the council chambers. No other business?
I have
Oh,
a question, sorry.
So close.
Do you know does someone know about the stop sign on South Street?
Mr. Oaks, where are we at on the stop sign on South Street?
They are closing the contract as we speak. We did a final walkthrough, we did a pre-final walkthrough a week ago. They had 3 weeks in order to close that out. I was down there today, and they're very close to done with the punch list work. We'll do a final punch list. At that point, we can install the stop sign if we choose at that point, and we'll roll it full back.
Okay, thank you.
Were you talking south and,
Colfax.
okay.
Okay. If nothing else, we are adjourned.